Welcome to the latest Judgement video. My name's Andrew Guns Galea, and today I'm going to talk about a few rule tweaks we are making. One of the things that we are doing with the game now that it's really settled is trying to find parts of the game that are confusing, not intuitive, can really catch up new players, or any gotchas that can even catch up veteran players. And we found two areas where we believe these need tweaks, so we're going to make them. These are going to be live straight after this video, so I'll update the digital rulebook and also push out the changes to the mobile apps. Essentially, there's two areas we're looking at today. One of them is the way interrupts work, and the second one is there's 5 heroes in the game that manipulate tokens, and we want to clear that up as well and make them all standardized, because at the moment they do all different things and it's thoroughly confusing. The first one is interrupts. So essentially, we used to have interrupts where you can have multiple interrupts if they're all satisfied, and a few patches ago, which is a while ago now, maybe a year, we changed it to just one interrupt per hero action. Now, this created a whole bunch of gotchas and confusion, right? It was also not very intuitive, and we've decided to roll that change back. So, give you a couple of examples, it'll be easiest to do this. So when someone gets charged, when a hero charges another hero, the hero has the option of standing their ground. That counts as an interrupt. If they chose to do that, and that hero happened to have the braces, they then couldn't use the braces to stop any combat maneuvers from that action, because they'd already used one interrupt. If Haxar had 2 voodoo idols out, and a model ended a charge or an advance within both of them, he couldn't blow them both up because he only do one interrupt, only one of them could do. And we had a couple of the defenders, I think Carver, Sky, and Lugdrug all had the ability to do 2 interrupts, and they're no longer able to do it. So we're changing this now. So this text is from the digital rulebook. The third paragraph's the only thing that's changing, the red bit, and this is what it says now. A model may trigger multiple interrupts against a single enemy action if their multiple interrupt triggers are satisfied. The interrupt owner determines the order the interrupts are triggered. So this means now that Sky can do heroic stand to move to a model to protect it and give it 4 temporary health, and then he can use diversion on the same attack, which really boosts him up. Lugdrug could give someone 2 res, his ward, and then divert the attack to him. And then he could also, if he wanted to, he could use the braces to stop himself getting pushed. So you can stack them in interrupts as you like, as long as they're all satisfied, and the owner gets to choose the order, which is great. So this is a much simpler rule now, nothing to remember, no gotchas, and it actually boosts some of these heroes that are able to trigger multiple things at the same time. So we're really happy to roll this change back. It's one of those things that we've made simplified. It's immediate, so all those heroes are going to get a little bit of a boost, which is great to see. Yeah, it's good because, I mean, even those 3 defenders, it's fantastic for them to get a little bit of a boost. There'll be other examples of this in the game, but just letting you know that multiple interrupts can now be triggered. Right, now there's 5 heroes in the game that manipulate tokens. Now, for those who don't know, tokens are markers, icons, and counters. Now, to explain these quickly, so an icon is something that you place on the board and it has a physical presence in that hex. That's a thing like the voodoo idols or healing idols of Haxar, the bell, Onkura's Bell of Doom. You've got Rakir's Shadow Orbs. They're all icons. They get placed into somewhere and they stay there and have a presence on the board. Markers are things that represent a spell or an ability. Marcus's Protective Stance is a marker, for example, because it stays with the model and it doesn't have a presence. You just move it around when you move the model, right? All the conditions are all markers. So that's the difference between icons and markers. And the final one is counters. So counters are like markers where they just stay with the model and move around, but they can stack. So you can have, like Bulwark is a counter with 5, Bulwark 5 or whatever it's got. Just to clarify, that is still one counter, right? It's not multiple counter stacking. It's one counter with 5 stacks on it. So they're the 3 token types in the game. The fourth thing I want to talk about is templates, which is terrain templates. And there's only really 2 at the moment to worry about, which is Marcus's Wall and Gendra's Forest. They're not tokens, but they're templates. They're like a special terrain type. Now this is important because the 5 heroes that manipulate these things up until today all did them differently. They targeted different things. It was really confusing to work out what was what. So we standardized the 5 of them just to make them simpler, easier to understand. I think for some of them it's a bit of a boost as well. We'll go through that as I go through the 5 heroes. So here we go. Number 1 is Abathus. So he's got Steel Magic, and so does Gonsoku. So these guys are both got the same change. So it's very clear now they can remove a marker or a counter from the model damaged by the saber attack, right? So, and they can transfer it to someone else, to a friendly hero. So this could be any marker that's on them, right? So it could be any ability like Protective Stance or anything you like, and you can move it across. Same as a counter if you've got Bulwark. If Lugdrug's got energy, you can move it to one of your models. The model can't use it, but you can at least take it off Lugdrug. So yeah, so there's a couple of things you can do. This makes this very clear now. It's just markers or counters that are on a hero. If you damage them, you can transfer it to a friend. So there'll be a lot of opportunities. You know, a +1 agi from. I'm trying to think of something that you can get it from. Yeah. So if someone kills Inferno and they get a boost to one of their stats by Inferno's marker, you can move that to one of your models. Yeah, things like that. So it's quite cool. All right. So that's Abathus. It's no functional change to how this works. It's just clarifying exactly what it can and cannot do. I think previously you might have mentioned token and it was confusing as hell. So now it's markers and counters. Right. Now Cradle has Shadow Cleanse. So this is now much clearer. So it's an icon, template, or a hero with a marker or a counter. So this basically covers everything now, right? And she can remove it. So these are things like all the icons on the board, like the Bell of Doom or a Rakir's Shadow Orb, if you wanted to do it that way without spending an AP, or healing idols, all these things that stay on the board. She can now remove them. She can remove templates. So Marcus's Wall and Gendra's Forest can both be removed with Shadow Cleanse. Now also, if a hero's got a marker or a counter. So once again, this is strong because if one of your friends, she can, an ally could have Burn or one of the, because don't forget all the conditions are markers. So she can remove all those as well. Or it's a Bulwark. She can remove a Bulwark off a model that's got it, an enemy model that's got it. So very powerful ability. Plays very much the same. It's a little bit more powerful because it's more clear what she can do, but that is Shadow Cleanse. Now, Cradle, Sana, and Styx all use this same language now. So they're all being standardized, and there's nothing about coming from an active ability. So the good thing about this is with the new Mythic Shrines, they are counted as markers, right? So any Mythic Shrine blessing is a marker. So if you can steal a marker or steal magic, so if you go back to Abathus, he can steal magic Mythic Shrine blessings now off the models. Wait a sec, it's this one here. He can remove, because it's a marker, he can put it off and put it on a friend. So he can steal Mythic Shrine blessings, and Cradle can get rid of them as well because they're markers, which is really cool. Right, so that's Cradle. Gonsoku is the same with Steel Magic, exactly the same wording as Abathus, so marker or counter from model damage, so he can do the same thing. And it's much the same here. Sana's level 2 Fey Mystic. This is probably the strongest ability out of all of them because not only does she do an icon template or a hero marker or counter, not only does she remove it, she also can get 5 temporary health on herself or 5 temporary health on a friendly Bale or 3 temporary health on any friend. So this is why hers is 1 AP plus 1 F. It's the strongest one and it is the most costly, where Cradle's is 0 AP but it's Shadow Mist and the other two just have dual combat maneuver. But her Fey Mystic level 2 is really powerful. I actually used it last night. So, and Styx, now, Nullify. This is the biggest change, and it is a buff for Styx. So essentially, Nullify used to be, it had to be an active ability, and you had to pay that cost to get rid of it. The reason why we had active ability, because we wanted you to pay the cost. We're getting rid of that restriction. It made it way too nuanced and technical what he couldn't do, and now he can do exactly the same that the other ones can do. So he can do like Cradle or Sana. He can get rid of an icon, a template, or a hero with a marker or a counter, and he can remove it, and he pays 1 AP or 1 F, regardless of what it cost or where it came from. So he can now manipulate everything they can do, and he can do 1 AP or 1 F, which is always really flexible. It's cheaper than Sana's because Sana gets the 5 temporary health, but it does exactly the same thing that she does, but it's cheaper. So Styx, it's a boost for Styx. It's actually quite a decent one now. His Nullify was always really nuanced and difficult to use. So once again, he can do Mythic Shrine blessings. He can manipulate those. The Glyph of Harvesting from Vajashas, he can steal those and get rid of those. So that's really cool. So they're the 5 changes to the heroes, and it's also the change to Interrupt. This is not warranting, it's not a patch, we're not waiting for the patch, we're just going to push these out, right? It's just standardizing €5 and it's making a change to interrupt. And now that we've got digital rulebook, the beauty is we can update the apps in the rulebook straight away. So that will be updated in the next 24 hours and the apps will be pushed out. Also, thank you for got a bunch of feedback about the apps. We've got thousands of games. It's really good to see. And a whole bunch of requests that I'm going to try to put through. I'll try to put them through this week. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. I'll try to sneak some changes in with these changes into the apps. So thank you very much for tuning in. I'm glad you are. It's always good to get feedback about the videos. So please let me know what you think, either on Discord or in the comments below. And I'll be back next week. Next week should be releasing Idolum, and also the Chimera Tribe rules will be officially released as well. There is another one. We've got two more. There's two more. What are they called? Chimera. Two more Chimera to come out before Christmas. So they will have 7 before Adepticon, and their rules will be out. So Chimera are going to be all systems go, which is super exciting. Right, so see you next week, Idolum. Take care and peace.